You mentioned my fiance. Like, no women, no children. What's up? Like, what we doing? Wait a minute. What is the real issue with you in marriage? Now I got to dig in and see, what are y'all like? What's your family like? Oh, your dad left you at 5. Oh, I get that. He never walked you to the bus stop. You're mad about this. Your mom, she never remarried. You don't even know what family is. So of course you don't dig marriage.
So now we see what he's doing at the face of adversity.
Or he's a selfish, lying, manipulative sack of who has made enemies for 15 years, and now we're here at the boiling point.
They both could be true.
You've been behind the scenes, being the biggest sack of you can possibly be. I'm not here to play games with you niggas. Niggas know what it is out there.
Drake isn't just making hits. He's shaping an entire generation's view on masculinity, love, and competition. But is his approach to relationships redefining modern manhood, or is he fueling a toxic cycle of romantic rivalry?
Further, and I'm gonna be honest, and I haven't said this, and I was approached during the battle by a team connected with the OVO side and asked me to show the boys some love. Again, I was being as unbiased as possible. I was calling it like I said, but they asked me, yo, we know you're unbiased. Really said it. We know you're unbiased, and we like that you're unbiased and you really try to call it straight, but can you show the guys some love? And no money was offered. No, absolutely no money was offered. But they kind of offer some things, some information, some access, and say, yo, and we'll make it that you can play his songs in your videos. We'll whitelist it. Ultimately, I declined.
From high-profile love triangles to cryptic Instagram captions that send the internet into a frenzy, Drake has mastered the art of making his personal life part of his brand. And at the core of it all, a recurring theme: pursuing women who are already taken. This calculated maneuver does more than just fuel gossip columns. It raises serious questions about what it means to be a man in today's world. Does his approach signal a shift in masculinity, making vulnerability more acceptable? Or does it reinforce an age-old battle of dominance, turning love into a competition where only one man can win? So, what does that say about masculinity today? About relationships? About the way we view fame and power? Let's break it all down. For decades, masculinity has been linked to dominance, control, and emotional detachment. Men were taught to suppress vulnerability and approach love as a competition. But Drake? He flips that script. He openly expresses longing, jealousy, and heartbreak in his music. He doesn't just chase love. He mourns it, obsesses over it, and makes it part of his identity. In songs like Marvin's Room and Feel No Ways, we see him grappling with the pain of romantic loss, something traditional masculinity often avoids. At the same time, Drake's lyrical content often reveals a contrasting persona, one that thrives on power and conquest. His songs frequently depict relationships as battlegrounds where the prize is winning over a woman, especially if she already belongs to another man. This duality of being both emotionally open and fiercely competitive creates a complex version of modern masculinity that both challenges and upholds old ideals. Is he redefining masculinity by making emotions acceptable, or is he just repackaging the same old competition in a softer, more poetic way? His impact is undeniable, but whether it's an evolution or a contradiction remains up for debate. Drake's narratives aren't just about love, they're about power. His lyrics often paint a picture of men as rivals, constantly trying to outdo each other in status, wealth, and most notably, relationships. Instead of presenting romantic relationships as connections built on trust and mutual respect, he often turns them into a contest. This approach fosters the idea that attraction is about competition rather than compatibility. It can subtly influence listeners, making them view relationships through the lens of rivalry rather than partnership. But at the same time, Drake is deeply collaborative in the industry. He's worked with artists who are technically his competition, forming bonds instead of feuds. So why does his approach to love tell a different story? Instead of reinforcing brotherhood, his music subtly implies that winning in love means taking from another man. It creates a paradox. He champions emotional depth, but still plays into the idea that love is a game where someone has to lose. In today's celebrity world, attention is currency. The more controversy, the more clicks. And nobody understands this better than Drake. His public entanglements, whether real or just implied, keep fans and media outlets glued to his every move. From rumored affairs with the partners of fellow artists to subliminal shots in his lyrics, his personal life has become entertainment. One could argue that Drake isn't just living his life, he's strategically curating a narrative that keeps him at the center of cultural conversations. His personal relationships, or at least the way they are portrayed in his music, act as a marketing tool, making him both aspirational and relatable to fans who see their own romantic struggles in his lyrics. But here's the question. Is he genuinely navigating love and rivalry, or is he deliberately fueling the fire to stay relevant? If the drama disappears, does the mystique surrounding his brand disappear as well? Drake's influence extends far beyond music. It shapes how young men see relationships. His lyrics romanticize competition, subtly suggesting that attraction is a battlefield. The result? A culture where loyalty feels fragile and relationships are seen as trophies rather than connections. Instead of fostering trust, his narratives can encourage insecurity, making people wonder if they are constantly at risk of being replaced. Furthermore, Drake's music can make possessiveness and jealousy seem like natural parts of love, reinforcing the idea that constant competition is necessary to maintain romantic interest. This mindset, while entertaining in music, can create real-life challenges for individuals who struggle with trust and self-worth in their relationships. And when one of the biggest artists in the world normalizes this behavior, it trickles down into real life. The idea that winning in love means proving superiority over someone else becomes embedded in how men approach relationships. So, what's the final verdict? Is Drake evolving masculinity by embracing emotions, or is he exploiting the drama of rivalry for fame? On one hand, he's shattered the stereotype that men must be emotionally detached. He has helped redefine masculinity in a way that allows men to express vulnerability without shame. On the other, he's reinforced the idea that love is a game where the strongest competitor wins. This contradiction highlights the blurred lines between authenticity and performance in celebrity culture. Drake's influence will continue to shape societal norms, but whether it leads to a healthier perception of relationships or further reinforces toxic competition remains to be seen. As we continue to watch his influence unfold, one thing is clear. Drake is more than just a rapper. He's a cultural force shaping how an entire generation views love, masculinity, and success. But now, I want to hear from you. Is Drake redefining manhood for the better, or is he just another player in the same old game?